Okay, you're on.
All right. So my name is Nate Scott, and before I get into that, let me just tell you a quick story. And that story is, at 19, I was asked to go serve in combat during Operation Desert Storm.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for your service.
Woo! I remember that day very vividly, where the first sergeant came into the barracks. It was probably around 2 in the afternoon, and he came and he just gave us the word that we were going to be deployed in Germany. And I don't know about you, but there have been times in my life where I've had things that were really shockers to me, but nothing quite like that. But we've all had those moments. And so I found myself deployed in the desert. It was dark. And it was in that moment that I realized the importance of preparation, of guidance, and of instructions. And in spite of the fear that I had, which some of you may have some fear right now if you're just getting started in this type of industry, in that moment I said, Lord, if you allow me to make it back, I'll never waste a day of my life. You see, we all have the same 1,440 minutes per day. And when you subtract out the time for working, for sleeping, for commuting, and the time it takes you to do what you have to do each and every day of your life, most people are left with just 1 to 2 hours remaining to do what they really want to do. But then the question is, do they have the money to do it? Hi, my name is Nate Scott. And I educate, equip, and empower people to live in fullness every day, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, relationally, physically, and financially. And I do that in order to address the cash flow danger that no one is talking about. When Penny talked about the timing, that's exactly right. There's a time and a need right now for you all to go out there and actually be speaking to people about your opportunity, because most people are not really cognizant of what's really, really happening. You know how we sometimes want to bury our head in the sand and not want to deal with stuff? Well, I want you to have the courage to engage with people right now. Love people enough to engage with them, to offer them the gift. You're carrying a blessing in your mouth. You're carrying a blessing in your mouth. My wife and I met on July 8, 2015 as I was leaving LA Fitness. I passed a pink Cadillac. I didn't see the person driving the vehicle, but I recognized the vehicle as a status symbol, so I pulled on the side of the road, and as she drove by, I flagged her down, and I gave her a copy of my book, and I said, here, read this, and if you get any value from it, you can pay for it later. She went left, I went right. She contacted me on July 26th from Dallas at seminar, telling me that she read the book. She shared it with 30 of her directors, and they all wanted it. From there, she asked me to do a conference call with about 200 of her ladies, and I said, bring the husbands on. After that, she asked me to do a live speaking event at her training center. And then from there, she hired me as her coach for 90 days. We developed a friendship, and within a year of meeting one another, we married. So my wife is NSDE, Andrea C. Scott. Andrea was 16 years as a national sales director. She's the youngest woman of color in the history of Mary Kay to be a national sales director. And she's the youngest NSDE fully vested in the history of Mary Kay. She retired at 52.
Wow. And
so we're delighted as a unit to be able to educate, equip, and empower specifically ladies. And that's the reason that you all are my heart, is because of Desert Storm, I knew of the importance of life. So when I had my daughter, Nadia, 18 years ago, I made a commitment there that I would sow into the lives of women such that if something ever happened to me, I'd have role models that I would want her to follow. So I'm fully vested in you ladies. And I'm a big advocate because I know about the wealth gap, not only for minorities, but for women as well, because oftentimes you ladies will live longer than men. And if you're married, many times we go through divorce. I've been through divorce. Other times we may be raising our adult children, as well as taking care of our parents. And so you all have a lot of pressures that put strains on your finances. And that's why opportunities like this, where you have the flexibility, the opportunity to write your own paycheck. See, nobody can see your hunger. Nobody can see your heart. See, the corporate ladder has a ceiling on it because it's about the profitability. But what I want you to know is that you are the asset. And that's what I want to leave you with. I want to leave you with the fact that you are the asset. My book is Life is Rich, How to Create Lasting Wealth. It's a principle-centered, biblically based leadership program focused on personal growth and entrepreneurship, specifically addressing the cash flow danger that no one is talking about. But life is rich means I live in fullness every day because I realize I am Christ's heir. It's foundation built on Matthew 6:33, which says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness. That's the promise. But then those are the instructions, and then there's the promise that all things thereafter shall be added unto you. So I want you to be empowered to know that it's already done. The only thing you have to do is commit to the process. Continue to plug in like this. Whoever said the Monday nights, yeah, be hungry for that, because it's important that you wrap your arms around one another because you're a unique group. The whole idea of being positive and being go-getters is not the norm. So it's important that you wrap your arms around one another and be consistent with your activity. Be consistent with your activity. The word says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. If you have your expectations set on that goal, then your behavior should follow. If you truly have a desire, your behavior needs to move with the expectations that you have. So I challenge each one of you to plug in, to work hand in hand, to be committed to the process, and recognize that you are special because God says so, and that there's no barrier except the barrier of your mind. All you got to do is get control of your mindset and then work through that. But that's a continual journey. Okay? And if I can ever be of service to you guys, don't hesitate to reach out. I want to thank you for calling me out. I was in the room and said, you know what, I've got to come over here, at least be in the room, because I'm just in my room. Why am I just going to stay over here? So I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.